I'm going to dedicate this episode of The Simple Chef to my friend Brendan at Fable Blades in Australia, who can hand create these beautiful, one-of-a-kind swords that somehow has trouble with his potato bake. All we're going to need today is a casserole dish. Any oven dish will work. If you don't have that, you can use a small roast pan. And of course, some potatoes, half dozen or so medium potatoes, some salt and pepper. We're going to need at least one onion and some flour. My kids always liked it when I added cheese to the scalloped potatoes, so we're going to be doing that today. And the simplest way to do it, since we are the Simple Chef here, is I have some low-fat cheese slices, processed cheese slices that I'm going to be adding to it, and some grated Parmesan cheese for on top when it's all ready to go in the oven. And just for today, add a little extra flavor and color along with the onions. I'm going to put some fresh garden chives in. I'm going to start off by peeling and washing our potatoes and dicing up our onion.
Just a little sign to let me know it's over. Just a couple words and I can go. It's over. Actions don't always speak the truth, but neither does I love you. I love you. I can't keep you.
Okay, next thing we're going to do is grease up our casserole dish. I'm using a bit of olive oil margarine. It's a little healthier. It's a low-fat, low-calorie margarine that I use. That's all there is to that. Alright, now we're going to start building layers with our potatoes and onions and such. All you're going to want to do is start slicing up the potatoes. You don't have to be too precise about how thick or thin they are. You don't want them too thin like potato chips or something, but you don't want them too thick and chunky either. Take about 2 of the potatoes and slice them into the dish. And spread them out a little bit there. Make them nice and even. And next we're going to sprinkle in a little bit of our onions. Add some salt and pepper. Going to do this to each layer. And you could also add Italian spice, something like that, if you want to spice it up a little bit more. You could also add things like bacon bits. I've heard of people doing that. I haven't tried that one yet personally. I like to add garlic to my layers just because I really love garlic. I put it in just about everything, and it's really good for you. So we're going to dice a little bit of garlic up into it too. Spread that around. And some fresh chives. That. Now, the cheese. Like I said, cheese is an essential. If you want scalloped potatoes just the old-fashioned way, you leave the cheese out. But we always like to add the cheese in. Just take some slices of it here and lay it on that layer. Now, one of the things that I heard mentioned about potato bake is that it isn't cooked through or that it's too runny. Here's where the flour comes in. I learned scalloped potatoes from my mother, and this is the way she always did it. And you take about a tablespoon of flour and sprinkle it in over the layer. Just like that. Now, you're ready for your next layer. More potatoes. We're going to repeat this until we've used up our 6 potatoes and created about 3 layers. We're finishing up our 3rd and final layer without the flour in it or the cheese on top, because we're going to top it off with some grated Parmesan cheese. final step
Just a little thing between the
is to add milk. We're going to fill this up just about to the top layer of the potatoes with milk. Takes quite a bit of milk, actually.
actions don't always speak the truth. How could I even think of needing you? I need you. I kick you, kick you, kick you down.
Right about like that.
I keep you, keep you, keep you, keep you out, man.
And we're going to kind of submerge this a little bit. Make sure it's going to soak up the milk.
I keep you on your knees and maybe someday.
Our oven's been preheating at 325 degrees. You're going to give yourself an hour to cook this. Check it, make sure it's cooked through. And you're going to want to let it sit for at least 10 minutes or so after you pull it out of the oven. That lets it cool a bit so it's edible, but also it helps to kind of pull everything together there. The flour and everything in cooking. That's all there is to that. There's your beautiful potato bake, or scalloped potatoes. Slide a knife in there, slides in nice and easy, you know it's cooked. And because of something as simple as 2 tablespoons of flour, we don't have runny potato bake. Wasn't that simple?
Kick you, kick you, kick you, kick you down.